Here is the olive eastern drake. Get this hook locked in here. And let's start with the thread. Actually, I was going to go to the wings first. We'll go to the wings here in a second, but let's go for some thread. We'll take some of this feather here. I'm going to pull the feather to the side, kind of perpendicular to the shaft of that feather, and snip it off right there. If you look at the original, you can see that the top of these wings are the cut end. So we're going to use that cut end here. Tie this one on the back side of the hook. Grab that piece again. Actually, I'm going to grab a different piece this time. Different feather. Cut those off, even that up. I'm just going to build that barrier up front to kind of elevate those. Now I can start doing a couple of wraps in the center to separate them a little bit. Some figure 8 wraps. Back one needs a little bit more front support. By tying these in first, it allows you to leave that tail end on the back. And then you come in and snip it and tie it down and stuff. So now we're still working on these wings, so we're going to come in here, do another figure 8 or 2 to kind of split them. Back one is being a little uncooperative. Now I can kind of wrap down that other material. And there's our wings. Now we work back here to the tail. Get that other piece down. Tail's going to be this black fur. So I'm going to use my hair stacker and take off a clump of this. This is kind of short. The hair stacker should do its job here. Sometimes it's just a little tricky with the shorter hairs because they go way down here. So I'm going to gently put them in, make sure I don't pull them out accidentally. Sometimes they stick to my fingers. Tap those good to try to even out those ends. That's a good tail. I'm going to cut off some of the other end. Just even that up a little bit. And now come in, tie it in right about there. A little bit extra, cut that off. I kind of loose wrap it just so I can check the length. I like that length, so now I can tighten it up a little bit more. Get all those hairs locked in. Next up, we're going to tie in the floss. It's kind of a copperish looking floss. That's going to be the ribbing on the body here in a minute. And now for the body, we're going to use this dubbing. I'm going to create a little dubbing rope here. Lick the fingers to get everything started. Just kind of helps roll this stuff on. That's probably enough right there. I say probably enough, and I'll get to the end and I'll probably have not enough. With dubbing ropes for me, it always seems like I have too much or too little. Okay, so we're going to wrap this on here, right up to the wings. Looks good. Just a little extra. Pull that off. Couple extra wraps right there. And run the floss for the rib. Looks like I got a piece back here. Should I get that out of the way? You know, I'm just going to snip this real quick. It's kind of a long piece of floss, too hard to work with. So just snip off the extra end of it. Only need a couple of wraps here to give it a rib. Get these wings up front here so we don't lock them down. And a quick little tie off. The last material for this fly is a little bit of hackle. Flare those pieces out. This one's got a little squirrely end to it. I'm going to try to rip off the last few pieces. That gives me just the stem. Just a good piece of stem to tie in here. Move that thread to the front of the hook. That's where we're going to tie off that hackle. We just need a couple wraps in the back of the wings. So that's 1, 2. Hang on, did I miscount there? There's 1, 2. Try to use this hackle to hold those wings up a little too. Pass in the front. Another one, and then tie off that hackle. This is where you hope you didn't crowd the hook too much. Snip that hackle off. Another wrap or two. Bring in the whip finisher. And there you have the Olive Eastern Drake.